Hello everyone. Today I'll be filming a in-depth, honest review of the Studio Acrylic paints that I got from thestationers.pk. Uh, I just want to give out a disclaimer that this is not a sponsored video and all my opinions will be my own. So without a further ado, I am going to get straight into the video. So I ordered 12 of these Studio Acrylic paints by the Stationers, and I was not exactly very pleased with them. First of all, they didn't send me the Studio Acrylic paints of in black and white. They sent me the black and white acrylic paints in another brand, which I'm not complaining. This brand is so much better than these. So that was that made me happy because these are much more pigmented. They're very good quality paints, slightly pricier than these ones, but the price is justified because these are really good paints. Anyway, so first of all, when I ordered the paints, it showed that there was going to be one extra color. So it was when I ordered them, it showed me that it would be golden, but I received silver, which was a disappointment because I'm not a fan of silver acrylic paint. Anyway, the consistency of these paints is not the best, and you'll see why when I show you the swatches. So I had already done the swatches, since like these paints are almost empty, because I had no other choice to use them because I needed acrylic paint for several projects. So I had already swatched these and I made like a color mixing chart of different shades. So anyway, you can see in these swatches that these colors are very patchy. You can easily see the streaks, and these colors are not very opaque. They do not layer well. If you try to, for example, if I try to layer burnt sienna over magenta pink, chances are that it'll be transparent, and magenta pink will be very easily visible from underneath burnt sienna. So you have to either mix it with white, this white color, which is why it's empty, because I have to mix every single one of these acrylic paints with it. So that's why it's kind of empty, or otherwise these paints are never opaque, and they're very liquidy. Like acrylic paint is, as you can see with this paint, it's supposedly thick, but these paints are very liquidy. They're almost like water. Wait, let me show you. Here's an old art palette. If you just open this brown paint, you can already see, like, I just did this and it's coming out. It's that liquidy, which is so annoying. And some of the paints are very weirdly chunky. Like, as you can see, this yellow one is very clumpy, very chunky. I was very disappointed with these paints, and they easily rub off of any surface you will put them on. So not very good quality acrylic paints. All of these are extremely liquidy except for this lemon yellow color, and I guess this green color. I guess the greens and the blues are slightly better, but the rest, these colors are absolutely extremely liquidy, and they do not swatch well at all. They don't layer well at all. They the air opacity is almost like watercolors, but they're acrylic paints, so that's very disappointing. And so I'm going to tell you their prices. So it was, I guess I got 12 of these paints for 1690 in Pakistani rupees, so that would be that would be 140 rupees, Pakistani rupees per tube. And this silver color was an extra color, so apparently they said it was free. But I'm pretty sure these paints would cost even less than 140 per tube because their quality is absolutely terrible. Like, if I were to buy them again, I would not pay more than 70 or 80 rupees per tube because they're that bad, and you have to use so much paint to get the layer opaque. So I'm just going to show you a couple of works I did with these, and then we'll move on with the review. So this is one of the paintings I did. It's still incomplete. I still have to make a ship here, and I am not going to use these paints because first of all, I don't like their shades, and second of all, they are not opaque, so they're obviously not going to layer well on an already painted canvas. So I'm probably gonna use my new Bluebird acrylic paints, which I'm going to do a review on very soon. Right after this video, you'll be seeing a review of Bluebird acrylic paints, which are so good, by the way. Just a disclaimer. Anyway, so bad. I'm sorry, but I hate this paint. Also, these paints take a year to dry. They take forever to dry. Acrylic paints are generally very quick drying. Like, this was a very thin layer and it should have been dry by now, but guess what, it's not gonna dry. It's probably gonna take you a couple of hours to fully dry. So if you're in a hurry to complete a painting, it's probably gonna take you a couple of days to complete that painting. One last thing I would like to discuss is the colors. So for a set of 12, they don't offer the best colors, since like burnt sienna isn't a very commonly used brown in paintings. Like Van Dyke brown is much more commonly used, so I wish they included a Van Dyke brown instead of a burnt sienna in their 12 pack. Also, instead of including two of these very similar yellows, they look different right now, but once you swatch them, they're almost identical. So instead of including two of almost the same shades, I would have preferred if they included maybe like a darker yellow, maybe a mustard yellow. Also, this orange is so bad, like it's almost neon. I do not like it. I do not like using this in my paintings. Also, they blend horribly. You would think that they're so thin. They're very watery. They would blend very well. They do not blend well. Anyway, back to the color selection. Instead of these greens, I would have preferred a viridian green or maybe a sap green, but like included a very grass-like green, which is a spring green. I rarely use this green, and I rarely use this green. I always have to mix my own green, and these are practically full, even though I've used a lot of this paint. I did like the selection of blue. I couldn't find the other tube of blue color. I like the colors they included for the shades of blue. Carmine pink. The carmine pink shade was a very pretty pink, as you can see, but again, it was very watery and it was very transparent, and that was very annoying. Sorry. Same is the case with the magenta pink. It wasn't as watery as the carmine pink, but it was very transparent and it did not layer well at all. However, I do like the selections of pink. I have always used these two shades in my paintings, even though they do not layer well at all. However, I do wish they included a purple, because you use up so much of these three colors to make a purple, so I'm almost out of them. So you must be wondering, if they're so bad, why did I buy them? What was I thinking while I was ordering them? So I saw a lot of good reviews for these online, which is kind of funny because these were not worth the hype. I saw so many people on Instagram raving about how good these are and how they were using them to make phone cases and canvases. I have not been able to use them on anything but canvases or maybe paper, because they rub off so easily. I can't even think of making a phone case with this or painting glass with it, because they will rub off quite easily. They even come off from canvases if they're like a little, they're drying and they've not you know how acrylic paints are sticky while they're drying. So if it's at that stage and you accidentally run a dry brush over it, it will chip off. So if you want my honest review, they were one of the worst acrylic paints I've ever used, and I've used a couple of brands, a couple of local ones. So I am very disappointed with these. Will I be purchasing them again? No, not at all. Do I recommend them to beginners? I would not recommend them to beginners, because these might make you hate acrylic paints, and as a beginner you wouldn't want that. Anyway guys, that was it for my review. If you've had different experiences with these paints, please do let me know. Maybe I was sent a really bad batch, which I don't think I was. But anyway, if you've had any different experiences with them, please do let me know in the comments below. And I did not want to sound too harsh, but I just wanted to give you my full and honest opinion about these. If you want to go for a little more affordable paints, do try the Marie's acrylic paints. They're great for beginners. They are 160 rupees per tube, while these were 140 per tube, so they are like 20 rupees more expensive, but they are worth those 20 rupees, because these are opaque. If you want me to do a in-depth review of these Mary, please let me know in the comments below, and I will surely do a review of these as well. And if you want to see the review of the Bluebird acrylic paints, please leave a thumbs up and a comment below, and be sure to subscribe for more honest reviews in the future. Bye!